And this is my Centec 2B horizontal milling machine. Now it does have a vertical head. This is the Mark III quill head, which allows me to mill and drill using it. It's currently at a funny angle at the moment. I haven't had this apart, I haven't had it turned on. There are lots of bits that are hanging off of it in different ways. This is the original control panel, which is completely cut away. There's nothing there. In this plastic bag, there's an inverter for a 3-phase motor that's in there. This is the arbor for the horizontal head. There's a machine vise. Down there, there's a door that's just been removed from the hinges, and as you can see, it definitely needs to be looked at. Seems to work. Having played with this for about 5 minutes after cleaning it, I think I've got a fair grasp of how it's working. So we have a fine feed handle for traverse, and we have a capstan handle if we want to get things moving much more quickly. There is an X traverse, or Y, I guess, Y traverse this way, and a Z traverse up and down. I've noticed that there's a fair amount of wear, or at least the gibs aren't nipped down very well, because the table moves about that much, which is probably 1/8 of an inch, and the knee itself moves by probably another 1/8 of an inch across the whole length. There's not much tilting like this, so I think it's probably just the gibs need to be tightened up. Up here we've got 2 locking levers. One is to lock the quill against anything, and this one is pinning the quill to either the fine feed if it's engaged, or allowing you to use the quill if it's not. So that's that. There's a gear selector on this side and this side, but since I'm using an inverter with a variable frequency drive, my control over here has got a speed control as well as forward and reverse, run and jog. I don't think I'm going to use those gears very often unless I need to get some higher torque or get it going really fast. This is a machine vise that I got with the mill. This is an Abwood, I think it's a 3-inch. It's not all beaten up, which is really nice. So I'm definitely going to be using this, and I will try now and machine something fun using the Clarkson Auto Lock Chug, which I picked up recently, and see what happens. So I've just tightened up all the gibs. Some of them were completely unscrewed, this is a bit strange. Some of them are screw head, some of them are Allen head, and there are a couple of larger, what I'm assuming are locking pins in there as well. But now there's very little play. I mean, there's still a little, and I will refine that as I go on. But now I want to try cutting some metal and see what happens there. So we're going to take the first cuts from this machine, and I'm quite excited. I've got the machine vise clamped up. I have a 10th hour depth of cut dialed in with the fine feed, and now the quill is locked. I've done my best to lock the x-axis. The y-axis is nice and tight. So all I think remains is to ensure we're in middle gear here, which we are, fast gear over there, which we are. So this should get going then. I've got our inverter. We've now got our power supply. We need to run it in reverse because of the way that the pulley is transmitting to the head. So I'm going to start this, then wind in a little cut on that bar and see what happens. Now this is only aluminium, it's really nothing dramatic, but I don't think I can underestimate how much more stable, vibration free and easy that was. But I'm really excited, that worked really well. Man, I'm so pleased. I'm going to try a bigger depth of cut, so I'm going to try a 50th hour depth of cut. Well, I'm really pleased with that. That's a 50th hour depth of cut. Didn't even blink. So let's try setting it up for horizontal milling and see what happens with that. It's going to be exciting.